From New York's Staten Island to Saturday Night Live to Hollywood, Pete Davidson has had quite the journey as he relates in conversation with Tony Dokoupil of CBS This Morning.
Here to comment on finally becoming an adult is our resident young person, Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson is one of the most unlikely stars of Saturday Night Live.
How did I get on this show, Colin? Did my mom see an NBC executive hit a kid and drive off?
Just 20 years old when he made his debut, and the character he most frequently plays is himself.
You know how wrong about politics you have to be for, like, me to notice?
But what really makes Davidson a long shot is that when he was asked to audition, he didn't even realize that Saturday Night Live was still on the air.
I didn't know it was still around.
Is that true? You don't.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you're 16, you're not watching, like, political midnight shows.
How did that change your life?
Oh, drastically. I started getting taken seriously as a comic. It really changed my life.
Now at 26, Pete Davidson's life may be about to change all over again.
I need somebody to tattoo. I'm running out of...
Your work is mad inconsistent. Obama ain't right.
In The King of Staten Island, he is co-author and star of his first major film about a drifting 20-something from New York's least celebrated borough. It's a film he says is about 75% autobiographical.
So this is lovely Staten Island.
Yes, this is the lovely Staten Island coast.
Staten Island is also the place Pete Davidson calls home.
You live below us.
I live in the basement.
Do you feel like Staten Island is part of you? Is it in you? Are you like a Staten Island guy?
Oh, yeah, I'm exactly what Staten Island is. Someone living in their mom's basement.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna get a job or are you gonna leave the house?
I don't know. I'm gonna open that tattoo restaurant.
In the movie, Davidson's character is struggling after his father, a firefighter, dies in the line of duty.
At least you got to know him.
Well, you're lucky you didn't get to know him, okay? Because that's why you're almost normal. If you got to know him, you would have known that he was, like, the coolest guy ever. And that would have ruined the rest of your life.
And if that doesn't exactly sound like a comedy, not even with Marissa Tomei as mom and Bill Burr as the guy trying to date her.
Are you flirting with me? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot. This is what it looks
really
like.
Subtle.
Davidson has had a lifetime to find the humor in it.
I'm Rusty. You're subtle.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I just always wanted to show where I'm coming from, pretty much like how a tragedy affects a family. And I think, like, there hasn't been many of those movies that are, like, really honest and transparent.
His own father died responding to the attacks on the World Trade Center when Davidson was just 7.
Do you remember the moment you found out?
I don't remember the moment I found out, but I remember when I started to get curious because a lot of his friends would be coming over and he wasn't over. Then I started to put 2 and 2 together that maybe something was wrong.
When people have something like that happen to them, often it's like a dividing line in their life, and there's everything before and there's everything after.
Right.
Did you feel like, even though you're only a kid, you were already a changed person?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of my best friends is forever gone.
I am 17, so unfortunately for you ladies, you know, keep it down, you know, because you'll go to jail.
But comedy became a way to cope, and as a teen, he started doing open mic nights in Manhattan, which led to what he was sure would be his only season of Saturday Night Live.
I was like 10, 12 years younger than everybody else, so it felt like it was a joke. It felt like very Make-A-Wishy.
Like charity?
It felt like charity, for sure.
How confident were you then as a comic? That's what I can't figure out. It sounds like you were, but then also you weren't.
I was really confident as a comic because, like, you have to be. When you're on stage, it's where I feel my most comfortable. But, like, off stage, like, I never really thought I was, like, I don't think I'm a great comic or, like, anything like that. I'm very self-hating.
Pete's just one of those guys, you see him, and right away you think that he's going to do great things. The most important thing about Pete is he's just insanely funny.
Judd Apatow co-wrote and directed The King of Staten Island, having already helped launch the careers of some of comedy's biggest names, among them Ben Stiller, Amy Schumer,
who the hell is Jesus H. Garcia?
And Seth Rogen.
I think I'm gonna go with Jesus here.
Why don't we have to clean this thing anyway? It's just gonna get fire on it.
He says Davidson has that kind of talent.
I don't even know why you gotta clean the truck. When you're trying to show up all sexy to a fire?
I always say to him, you know, me and most of my friends, we had to make 12 really goofy movies before attempting to do something like this. I think there's really no limit to what Pete can do. I mean, he's a fantastic actor. He's a really fantastic writer. He was a great producer. So I do think it's just the beginning for Pete.
I Googled it. It's never been done, not even as a joke.
Because no one wants to go to a restaurant and watch people get tattooed while they eat. It's gross.
It's the best idea ever. Ruby Tuesdays.
But as Davidson's career took off, his personal struggles deepened. And by 2017, he says he was at his lowest, even at times suicidal.
Or how close did you get?
I got, not to be like, you know, like I got as close as you can get. I mean, just like testing the waters. And until I met the right treatments and met the right doctors and did all the work that you need to do to like not feel that way, it got pretty dark and scary.
Yeah. So that scene in the movie where you close your eyes on the road.
Yeah.
Is that based on something that really happened?
Yeah, that's true. I used to do that. That's horrible to say. But yeah, I used to close my eyes on a closed road, usually at night, and I would drive without a seatbelt.
But if 2017 was the worst year of his life, it was also the best. The year he found help, and through the writing and making of his new movie, a possible way forward.
Sorry. I really wanted this to be like cleansing for me.
Cleansing how?
I feel like I got to speak about it in the biggest way possible, and I could get my story out there. So I feel like now I could like let it go.
Do you think you'll ever leave Staten Island?
Maybe one day, but right now I feel really comfortable here.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Not your dad.
Whatever happens with the King of Staten Island, Pete Davidson says the work itself has been worth it, and always will be.
I made a tribute to my mom and dad, and I got to face these things I've been avoiding for a really long time head on, and I couldn't ask for, you know, anything more, really.